Coastal Radio DAB.
So what a day we've had here on Coastal Radio DAB at the Winter Gardens, and I'm delighted to have Martin and Marina here, the promoters and organisers and the creators of the British Country Music Festival. Now in its 6th year, growing and growing and growing. How does it feel to be at the end of this, festival now?
This morning we were all slightly broken. And then you're just shattered and tired of Friday and Saturday. But then we had an amazing act called Red Sky July, who were probably designed by the architect in 1894 of the ballroom. He thinks that's what I'm designing this room for, that band, because they were an acoustic trio. And they just repaired everybody. We were all back put to pieces, and then we could party for the rest of the day today. So we've got through it, yeah.
Martin, what a great way of explaining that first act, because I felt exactly the same. That's amazing. Yeah, that's put that into perspective. 6 years of doing this, Marina, and it's grown into something really quite incredible. Are you foreseeing the future being quite bright for the festival now? I'm sure you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're very proud of what it's grown into. I think the feedback we get, and certainly this year, has been exceptional. I think that I've heard words like the festival is honest, it's wholesome, and it has integrity, and that's like the best compliment we can get, I think, because it's, we have no big corporate backers, no big sponsors. It's just on ticket sales, and bless them, the people keep coming back year after year, not knowing what the lineup's going to be. Ticket sales are up this year. We're selling now for next year. They've gone live. So, that trust is never to be we always appreciate it, don't take it for granted.
Absolutely. The fact that, I remember I spoke to you in 2019, and I've got to say thank you for creating something that is a big part of Blackpool's festival season now. And it's so wonderful. Like you said, it has that honesty and integrity. Backstage, it feels like that as well. It's not just out for, it's not just what the customers are experiencing. Probably because there's so much of that backstage, you give it out, the artists seem to do that. That's probably why they're getting that as well, don't you think?
Yeah. So we're quite obsessive about how backstage is looked after, and we don't let the artists disappear into dressing rooms and have their dressing room riders. Everyone eats communal, and eating together brings people together. And we've had so many collaborations that have started at the festival that have ended up with songwriting collaborations and ended up with tours with different artists working together. So that's the coolest thing for grassroots musicians, is that they can talk to each other. But it's right, if you look after people, they in turn feel better and look after people on front of house as well with their performances. So, yeah.
I completely agree with you. I think also, I have to say, the sound's fabulous in here. I didn't get to the rest of the festival this year. I didn't see this, but I did see some great footage of songwriting programs in the Horseshoe Pavilion, which looked immense. Everybody sat there hanging on every word.
We had Gareth Dunlop headlining there yesterday, and for those that don't know him, he's written 14 songs for Nashville TV series. He's written for film, famous artists. Martin, you took a few names I can't remember, but you name them, he's written songs for them. But he's gone under the radar as the songwriter. But performing yesterday, we had people in tears, just moved by his performance. It was so up close and personal. Harmonies were amazing. And you could hear a pin drop. So those moments are the special moments of the festival, I think.
Yeah. And then for the songwriters carousel, so it's a tradition in Nashville that artists will do songwriters rounds, where it's 3 or 4 artists on stools explaining the behind the song, and will sing their own songs, and they take it in turns to do it, and they will join in with each other. And it's just a tradition in Nashville. That's how they work out their new material. So we introduced it here, and rather than songwriters round, we called it the carousel, because we're in Blackpool, and there's a few carousels around, and it works. So the lineup for this year for the Songwriters Carousel was Tara McLean, which is an artist that we found in Canada when we were invited out. That's part of the reputation of the festival. Marina and I were invited to Canada because they want to bring Canadian artists over to the UK now because they see this as a platform for them. So we witnessed a fantastic artist called Tara McLean, who's a Canadian singer-songwriter, and we saw her in a 18th century wooden church on Prince Edward Island in Canada. It was a special moment for us, and we said she would be absolutely perfect in the Emperor's Ballroom, and so she did the Songwriters Carousel, and then in the evening came and did an absolute wow, yeah.
Emotional, to be honest, because Tara came off and she went, God, from 12 months ago in Canada and today I'm here in the culmination of that to-ing and fro-ing, wasn't it? You know, with that contract and whatever. Yeah, she was. So she said, it's just a moment we need to just stop and think from that coffee in Canada. Here I am in Blackpool, which is great for the resort because, you know, Tara McLean's never been here before. Brittany Spencer's never been here before. Flew in from New York on Friday, flew back flew back today, just for this festival. So for Blackpool as a town to be getting that kind of level of artist. She was on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album. You know, it's great to have that level of artist in the resort.
Yeah, absolutely is. And like you're saying, those stories are really special. And in fact, today on the interviews that I've had, I've been getting stories off the artists that just kind of celebrating the joy of their journeys and then their performances here. And they've all left saying how much they have enjoyed the whole experience here as well. And we've had some great artists on. We've actually had, we've been speaking to Red Sky July, of course, earlier on. They were so lovely to speak to. And a history there of great songwriters and chart successes and stuff. Yeah, and of course Mim Gray came along as she's a burst of energy, talking to us about her experiences with Tom Jones and Roxette, and then she's loved today. And I have to say, I went out on both of those artists. I went out and listened to the sets. She was great as well, wasn't she?
Yeah. So we've had 5 artists today on the stage. Every single one has had hint of country. You know, they're country artists, but every single one is a completely different act. So, you know, that variety, that the broad church that country music can give, and we're always on the edges of it as well when we're doing our programming. So yes, cool. But
absolutely brilliant. So I have to say, thank you for inviting Coastal in to be part of your final day and like the wrap up of this year's festival. We'd love to be back next year. I think we've already had a bit of a chat about that, and you know, we'd love to support you. Of course, we love to support everything in Blackpool. This is turning out to be something really, really special, and I, for one, am so proud of you guys. I think you're absolutely brilliant people, and thanks for bringing something really special.
Thanks very much, and yes, Coastal Radio, you are most welcome. We expect you to be here next year. Yeah, definitely. We'd love to have you back.
Fabulous news. Okay, well, we have to move on, unfortunately. I'd love to chat all night, but you've got things to do, we've got things to do as well. We are playing a track by Dolly just to finish this interview. So this is Jolene on Coastal Radio DAB. Thanks so much, guys.
Coastal Radio DAB.